that will lead us to freedom, not the idiots by the side. Do you understand? On no, they have given me everything and I said no. They came to DSS to give me, I said no. They came to prison, I said no. They came to my house, I said no. They called me governor's meeting, I said no, I don't want anything. All I want is freedom. All I want is Biafra. Why do you think I have had issues with Chifunia? Why do you think I had issues with it? Because of the same thing. I said that way people are going, you went that way. They rubbish. Look at Imo State. See what you hear in Imo State. The same political process. You join, you after a while, you vote after they declare whoever they like as their winner, and that's the. So I will never join into politics. I will never stop fighting for Biafra. Very careful. My father died as a result of this. I have lost men as a result of this. IPOP family members that I was close to have died. They did not die for one Nigeria. They did not die for Nigerian party. They died fighting for freedom, and that freedom we are going to get. Your next question, please.
Thank you. So the reassurance is that even if they call you to make you Nigerian president, you all, because I want the reason why somebody will stand and say, I am dying for Biafra because my leader has said. So you have clarified that. So my second question.
They gave me vice presidency. Go and ask DSS. They gave me vice. They said they will make me the vice president of the zoo. I shot my agitation. This happened in October of 2015, and I said no, I won't drop it. Ask them. That was the day I gave them the advice about you. These are the things I want our people, our hardcore Biafrans to understand, because they are the ones that will lead us to freedom, not all the flavors by the side. It is the hardcore that will lead us to freedom, not the idiots by the side. Do you understand? On no, they have given me everything and I said no. They came to DSS to give me, I said no. They came to prison, I said no. They came to my house, I said no. They called me governor's meeting, I said no, I don't want anything. All I want is freedom. All I want is Biafra. Why do you think I had issues with Chifunia? Why do you think I had issues with him? Because of the same thing. I said that way people are going away. They rubbish him. Look at Imo State. See what they did to him in Imo State. The same political process. You join, you after a while, you vote. After voting, they tell whoever they like as their winner, and that's the end of the game. So I will never join any zoo politics. I will never stop fighting for Biafra. Listen to me very carefully. My father, my mother died as a result of this. I have lost men as a result of this. IPOP family members that I was close to have died. They did not for one Nigeria. They did not die for Nigerian party politics. They died fighting for freedom, and that freedom we are going to get on their behalf. Your next question, please.
Thank you. Reassurance is that even if they call you to make you Nigerian president, that you own Biafra. Because I want to know the reason why somebody will stand and say, I am dying for Biafra because my leader has said. So you have clarified that. So my second question.
They gave me vice presidency. Go and ask DSS. They gave me vice. They said they will make me the vice president of the zoo. I should drop my agitation. This happened in October of 2015, and I said no, I won't drop it. Ask them. That was the day I gave them the advice about doing. These are the things I want our people, our hardcore Biafrans to understand, because it leads us to freedom, not all the flavors by the side. It is the hardcore that leads us to freedom, not by the side. Do you understand? On no, they have given me everything and I said no. They came to DSS to give me, I said no. They came to prison, I said no. They came to my house, I said no. They called me, I said no, I don't want anything. All I want is freedom. All I want is Biafra. Why do you think I had issues with Chief Nyanwood? Why? Why do you think I had issues with him? Because of the same thing. I said, that way people are going, Ojukwu went that way. They rubbished him. Look at Imo State. See what they did to him in Imo State. The same political process. You join, you after a while, you vote. After voting, they declare whoever they like as their winner, and that's the end of the game. So I will never join any zoo politics. I will never stop fighting for Biafra. Listen to me very carefully. My father, my mother died as a result of this. I have lost men as a result of this. IPOB family members that I was close to have died. Die for one Nigeria. They did not die for Nigerian party politics. They died fighting for freedom. And that freedom we are going to get on their behalf. Your next question, please.
Thank you. So the reassurance is that even if they call you to make you Nigerian president, that you always stand on Biafra. Because I want to know the reason why somebody will stand and say, I am dying for Biafra because my leader has said. So you have clarified that. So my second question.
They gave me vice presidency. Go and ask DSS. They gave me vice. They said they will make me the vice president of the zoo. I should drop my agitation. This happened in October of 2015, and I said no, I won't drop it. Ask them. That was the day I gave them the advice about doing. These are the things I want our people, our hardcore Biafrans to understand, because they are the ones that will lead us to freedom. Not all the flavors by the side. It is the hardcore that will lead us to freedom, not the idiots by the side. Do you understand? Although they have given me everything and I said no. They came to DSS to give me, I said no. They came to prison, Kuje, I said no. They came to my house, I said no. They called me governor's meeting, I said no, I don't want anything. All I want is freedom. All I want is Biafra. Why do you think I had issues with Chief Nyanwood? Why? Why do you think I had issues with him? Because of the same thing. I said, that way people are going, Ojukwu went that way. They rubbished him. Look at Imo State. In Imo State. The same political process. You join, you after a while, you vote. After voting, they declare whoever they like as their winner, and that's the end of the game. So I will never join any zoo politics. I will never stop fighting for Biafra. Listen to me. My father, my mother died as a result of this. I have lost men as a result of this. IPOB family members that I was close to have died. They did not die for one Nigeria. They did not die for Nigerian party politics. They died fighting for freedom. And that freedom we are going to get on their behalf. Your next question, please.
Thank you. So the reassurance is that even if they kill Nigerian president, that you always stand on Biafra. Because I want to know the reason why somebody will stand and say, I am dying for Biafra because my leader has said. So you have clarified that. So my second question.
They gave me vice presidency. Go and ask DSS. They gave me vice. They said they will make me the vice president of the zoo. I should drop my agitation. This happened in October of 2015, and I said no, I won't drop it. Ask them. That was the day I gave them the advice about doing.
Good morning, Biafrans. Good afternoon, Biafrans. Good evening, Biafrans, depending on your location and your time. Welcome to today's broadcast. Thank you for joining. Please, if you join us, share Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the break in transmissions. Like I've always told you, so it's because of my gadget. I'm using an old gadget, so until I update it from time to time, I may be experiencing all these technical glitches. So bear with me. Please share and share. You can as well make your comment. Let us know where you are watching us from. Let us know where you are watching from so that we can appreciate your presence. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for joining. Welcome, 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 welcome. There is something that our leader Mazin Nandekano said. But before I proceed, you are onto the platform of Mazi David Nana. The questionnaire reaching to you live from my location. This platform is for the propagation of the message of the restoration of independent state of Biafra under the Biafran government, Biafran Republic government in exile, under the Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere. So in this platform, we will always do the needful. We will always educate our listeners. We will answer certain questions that are within our own understanding and comprehension, as well as our response. Classified informations are not discussed on this platform. Biafran defense is not discussed on this platform. The same thing as finance is not discussed on this platform. But every other thing about our Biafran restoration, about your support to the BDF, your support for your freedom, anyone we have knowledge about, we are going to share it with Biafrans. And I want to use this opportunity to appeal to Biafrans in the homeland and in diaspora. We want to reactivate our satellite, our radio, and television stations so that they can be working 24/7 in Biafran territory. So we are calling for donors for support so that we can put transformers and every other thing that is needed in place so that our people will be getting information directly, especially now that the terrorist Nigerian government are within their electioneering period. We want to always educate our people and let them understand that in Biafran territory, Nigeria can never hold any election. We are no longer Nigerians. So that information is very key, is very important. So we need our satellite, we need our television, TV stations to be operational and working. So if you are from the 40 states of Biafra land, please, your support is needed either in Eje or in Ejemma. Very, very, very important. Because we have to be free out of Nigeria. Right from 1914, forced amalgamation of the northern and the southern protectorate that included Biafran region we have been the region that have suffered the most under this evil amalgamation. Why the Fulanis and the Duduwas are benefiting from the amalgamation, we the Biafran people's blood has been spilled. Our blood has been spilled. It is our blood that is being used to hold Nigeria together. And a lot of our people have died as a result. So we can no longer condone that. We can no longer accept that. We can no longer watch and see 1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah, no. See, boss, I'm person allowed, person allowed. Double. Double. Shake a lot. Shake a lot. Okay, double. Go to Mandaro. Go to Mandaro. Double, double. The mall, okay. Please bear with me as I am multitasking as well. You see, we are doing a lot of, oh my God.
Well, thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Jim Moran.
Please bear with me, Biafrans. I'm just multitasking and I'm trying to see if I can resolve one issue. Then I'll be able to give undivided. Just a minute. Just a minute. I will. Let me see.
Well, thank you.
If
My name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I began to represent some corporations and countries and causes that I believe
today is not one of
in.
my
It has been
network is really
an honor
not
to
friendly.
work with you, Your Excellency.
Network is not friendly.
Elias Gerasulis is my partner. This is primarily Elias is account, but I'm going to be working with him. While I was in the Congress, I was on the committee that funds defense and State Department Foreign Operations, as well as the Foreign Relations Committee. I have an interest in Africa. I was a principal co-sponsor of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, but most importantly, I do believe that Biafran independence
So, like I was saying, Biafrans, we have to put our transformer in order. We have to put our radios in order. We have to put our TV stations in order, and our satellite as well has to be in order. So we need your support. We need your contribution. As you all know, the government cannot do everything for us. The government is handicapped financially because it is individuals, more importantly those in the diaspora, that are contributing immensely for this freedom. It is those in diaspora that have sustained this freedom for this moment. And remember what our leader Mazin Nandekano said in this video that I played. He said, it is the hardcore that are going to give us freedom. Who are the hardcores? The hardcores are those who are committed. The hardcores are the 100 men that Mazin Nandekano talked about. The people that can contribute, the people that can sacrifice, the people can do anything for Biafran restoration. These are the people who are the hardcores. These are the people who are forming the bedrock of the 100 men. So the Biafrans in diaspora are the ones who are seriously funding this liberation at this time. It hasn't been easy for them because every Saturday, Saturdays, they do their contribution. While we have over 80 million Biafrans all over the world, if we have like 1 million Biafrans that are donating, even if it is 2020 Ejema, 2020 Eje every week, 1 million 2020 Eje every week is big money for our restoration. Even if it is 10 Eje every week, or 1,000 Eje. When I mean 1,000 Eje, 1,000 worthless Nigerian naira. If we can see 1 million or 2 million or 3 million Biafrans who are giving Biafran Republic government in exile 1,000 naira, which we call 1,000 AJ. My wonderful people, we are going to go a long way. So it is only those in diaspora that are doing within their reach to make sure that they fund this freedom. And you see, when they are being overstretched so much, it's not well for our freedom. So we encourage everybody to join hands with those in diaspora and support this freedom, because our Biafran government is doing wonderfully well. Our attorney and our lobbyist Elias, they are doing fantastically well in Washington, D.C. And government activities are numerous. While our Prime Minister is going to Washington, D.C., Biafran land need to be defended. The men and women who are sacrificing their time, their resources, their lives, they need to be fed. They need to be kitted. You see, when they are sick, they need to be treated as well. So all these things need money. So if you are a Biafran and you love Biafra, you are in the homeland, these avenues of making your contribution to this government. You can pay in AJ. Okay, we can send you a link where you can pay to AJ, with AJ, and support this freedom, because it is not easy for everyone at this time. And you see what Nigerian government is actually doing in Biafra land. They are now killing a lot of people, kidnapping our youths. You know, the Nigerian government is the one that are into kidnapping. They are the ones that are into organ harvesting. They are the ones that are into ransom taking, stealing. They are the ones that are, implementing the jihad. So the security agencies that you see in Biafran territory, like Danjuma said, former chief of defense staff, all of them are complicit in the insecurity that we have in our land. So we as a government, if you don't support the government, the insecurity will increase. If the government don't have the resources to protect our land, the insecurity will increase. That is why we are calling on Biafrans, anywhere that you all are doing businesses in Onitsha, in Aba, in Umuahia, in Iguacha, in Igodomi, in Port Harcourt, in Warri, in Lagos, in Abuja, in Kano, in Kaduna, everywhere. Biafrans, we have what it takes to fund this freedom of Biafra. We have what it takes. Why the sabotage? Why are we sabotaging the freedom that we are fighting? Look at Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, our leader. Despite his position, despite his incarceration, despite the harassment and intimidation and what is going under in Nigeria, he is still very strong and committed for our freedom. What about you that you are not incarcerated like Mazin Nnamdi Kanu? You are not being hunted down like most of us that are in diaspora. The only thing that the government needs from you is support. In that support, self, nobody is going to know that you are supporting the government. Yes, because we want to protect our people. Everything that BRGIE is doing is for the protection of our people in the homeland. So your information is going to remain secret. Nobody is going to know you are the one who is donating to your freedom. Because those of you that are in Nigeria, we know that you are afraid. We understand that. Nigerian government are tracking you through your NIN and all the rest of them. So that is why you can be an anonymous donor. We encourage you to go to our website, www.biafrarepublicgovernment.org, and make your donation. Nobody is going to know who donated. Once you make your donation, keep your receipt. Only you know how to keep your receipt. Okay? So that when you are needed to present it, you will be able to present it to the government of Biafra when Biafra is fully restored. So nobody is going to snitch on you. Nobody is going to sabotage you. You go to the website, make your payment, keep your receipt. You may not even put your name. Any name that you like during the payment, you put on it. Nobody is going to question that. As long as you have your receipt that this is a proof of your payment, you are good to go. So nobody should say, oh, I am not contributing because I'm in Nigeria, because I'm afraid of my life, because if I contribute, they are going to know whom. They are not going to know you. You are not going to pay into the banks. There is a way you can pay for your freedom without anybody knowing. So you can contact those in the media. We give you direction. So let's not be that, oh, because of in Nigeria, you think that because you are in Nigeria, then you are exempted from supporting your freedom. No. It is our collective responsibility. And our leader told you that it is the hard cores that are going to give the freedom. And most of the hard cores are in diaspora. Okay? We need your support financially. Why the hardcores are doing the legwork? Why the hardcores are going to Washington, D.C. and doing all the diplomatic legwork? You do your business. All that is needed from you is to support your freedom. Very, very important. So, having said that, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, I don't know if this network will allow me to play the video that I want to play. I don't know. Yeah, but just of recently, this issue we started talking about is something that is very, very important. It is important to the Biafran government and it is important to the Biafran people, okay? Because the fight for our freedom is not a joke and it's not a child's play. The position that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and our first prime minister find themselves, we the Biafran people, we are not happy about it. We want them to be outside and be able to help and make sure that Biafra is restored. Okay? But in a scenario and a situation whereby Mazi Nnamdi Kanu found himself being kidnapped from Kenya and dumped in Nigeria, and Mazi Simon Ekpa, first prime minister, found himself being arrested in Finland and dumped in detention. In a scenario like that, are we going to run away because they want to intimidate our leaders? Are we going to leave them because, oh, they are intimidating them and they want us to, take a cue from the intimidation? The answer is no. What is it that is expected of you and I? What is expected, I, like our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will always say, is to be consistent on what we are doing. Okay? To always stand on the path of truth and fight for what you believe in. And our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made us to understand that anywhere that he is, it doesn't matter whether he's alive, it doesn't matter whether he's dead, that Biafra must be restored. In other words, what it implies is that it is not him, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, alone that this Biafra issue is for. He is not the only person that have the prerogative, like the monopoly right to fight for Biafra. That is not what it meant. It means that when he's incarcerated, we should push on, follow the template that he lays on the ground. So, and that is what we are following. The same thing applies to our prime minister. And while we are following it, we are not supposed to jeopardize their position. We are not supposed to compound their problem. For Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for instance, in Nigeria, the reason why Nigerian government kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, 1 minute. So sorry for that. So the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Nigerian government went to Kenya to kidnap him was to stop Biafra. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu they kidnapped him and brought him to Nigeria in order to stop Biafra. So how do you now expect the same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that they brought to Nigeria from that same Nigeria for Biafra? The Nigerian government allow him to do that. This is common sense. It cannot happen because they brought him back to stop him from fighting for Biafra. And now you expect him to stay in Nigeria and be fighting for the same Biafra, and Nigerian government to allow him to do that. The reason why they went to Kenya to kidnap him is to stop that which you think he can do from Nigeria. It's not possible now. So it should be a common sense to every one of you. So when you talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention, trying to raise 100 men, you are compounding the problem of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu expects you that is outside to fight for him to come out. So you don't expect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention to fight for himself and liberate Biafra. Does it mean that we don't have men and women who can now liberate Biafra out of prison? Is that what it means? Does it mean that it is only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? If it is not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then Biafra is not visible. So that is common sense. So when you hear anybody telling you that, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking for 100 men to come and register to release him, to come and register to start going to Washington, D.C., to come and register to start liaising with America and all the rest of them, that is a sabotage on the Biafran Republic government in exile that is in place as we speak. Because all these people that are telling you about 100 men, they actually understand that Biafran Republic government in exile is in existence. They don't want to give BRGI the credibility. They don't want to give the Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere the credence and the credibility that he deserves. Okay? They don't want to support him. Rather, they want to castigate, they want to bring him down. Why are they doing that? The only reason they should be doing that is because Nigerian government want them to do that. Remember, when the Prime Minister was here, the Nigerian government refused to acknowledge the Biafran Republic government in exile existence. They will always say IPOB, 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 because they know that IPOB is part of them. They know that IPOB have already sold out in Biafran restoration. So everything they do, they say IPOB. Why they see the actions, why they see the diplomatic engagement of Biafran Republic government in Ezra, they didn't want to do that. It is the same thing that is happening to the case of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu right now. They want us to believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu don't know about the existence of Biafran Republic government in Ezra. I mean, the lawyers want you to believe. The lawyers want you to believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is now asking people to come and join 100 men while he is in detention. That is common sense. It is common sense. So if you are a student of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you should know that that is a scam. Nnaemeka Ejiofor is scamming Biafran with using 100 men. Because Nigeria government want to know those who will like to register with 100 men to join Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention. They are going to take you to Sokoto as well, so that you go and join Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and do the 100 men in detention. The same thing, you are compounding the problem of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, you are compounding, because when you come out and say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say this, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say that, the Nigerian government will still use it against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when they deem necessary. In the same scenario is what is happening to our first Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku, like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was given 6 years in detention. That 6 years in detention, they don't expect Simon Ekpa to be talking anything about Biafra while in detention. They don't expect to be hearing that Simon Ekpa is calling this or is saying this and is saying that, because you are compounding his case. You are making his case worse. You are now telling Finnish police or Finnish government that which made them to detain Simon Ekpa, that Simon Ekpa is still doing it even while he's still in detention in their facility. So what is the essence of now coming out and telling you, oh, Simon Ekpa appointed this as a convoy, as a what do you call it? Yeah, envoy. Or Simon Ekpa appointed this to talk about this in detention while he's in detention. Does it mean that the government of Biafran Republic government in Ezra, which he, Simon Ekpa Njoku, unveiled in 2023, is not functional? They are not doing anything. They are not working. Everything, it is as if it is Simon Ekpa that is spearheading everything. You can't make the headway. You can't do anything outside Simon Ekpa. Is that what it means? So I want to reach this opportunity to call up each and every one of you that have fallen aside, are fallen from grace to grass, because that is what it is. Stop the sabotage. Stop the sabotage of our freedom. The freedom is for you, is for me, is for all of us. Why do you sabotage it? Why? We already have an established government. We already have an established and functional government in exile. We have our attorney and we have our lobbyist. Amanda Berry and Elias, they are in Washington, D.C. And the power brokers are in Washington, D.C. Our prime minister lives in Washington, D.C. He lives in Georgia, in America. Our lobbyists, our attorneys are well recognized. Okay? Liberia has contracted Elias. Elias is working for Liberia. Elias is working for Eritrea. Elias is working for Ambazonia. Elias is working for Biafra. So what is the hatred for Elias for? Why? Is it because you don't want us to be free? Is it because of the contract that the Nigerian government has given to you? So you have to sabotage a working process? Because the last time I checked, BRGIE Prime Minister, BRGIE lobbyist, and BRGIE attorney are doing exceptionally well in their line of duty in Washington, D.C. So what is this noise about Joseph Edward Schmtiz? What is this noise about this man? Why have our people not learned a lesson? Or why our people so affiliated to sabotage? I just want to know. You are fighting for freedom. We are fighting for freedom. What is the offense of Ogechukwu Nkere that people can now go and form another group and start dividing the source of funding that was coming to one place that we are using to protect our land? Why the hatred for Ogechukwu Nkere? I just want to know. Can somebody please write on the comment section the hatred for Ogechukwu Nkere? Is he not doing the right thing? Hello? Sorry. Why the hatred? Why the hatred of Ogechukwu Nkere? Most of the people hated Ogechukwu Nkere because Ogechukwu Nkere, they say, oh, he doesn't have a doctorate degree attached to his name. People who don't want to support this freedom say because he doesn't have a professor attached to his name. But I ask you, where in the history of freedom fighting was it written that unless you are a professor or a doctor, or you have a doctorate degree before you can lead freedom fighters? Nelson Mandela, was he a professor or a doctor? Eh? Mazin Nandekan, is he a doctor or professor? God chooses those he wants to lead at a particular time. And at this time, he chose Ogechukwu Nkere. Are you aware that Ogechukwu Nkere is very much instrumental to Biafran Republic government in exile being set up? So why the hatred? For crying out loud, Ogechukwu Nkere is doing more than enough. He's making sure that things are happening, both financially and otherwise. He's spending his resources to carry this cross as a messenger of Biafra. But a lot of people want him out because, according to them, he doesn't have a doctorate degree, he doesn't have a professor degree, he's not a technocrat, he's not what do I say? They want degrees attached to his name before they can support, which is very, very sad. Which is very, very sad. A man who, if I say single-handedly, he contributed immensely. He contributed immensely to Latin Finland restoration of Biafra. He contributed immensely, even when all hope was lost. And not only that, he did not impose himself. Okechukwu was not imposed on the Biafran people. He was elected. 57 people elected Okechukwu to be the acting prime minister then, and also elected him to be the prime minister, because according to Biafran charter and according to our bylaws, our prime minister cannot be incommunicado, incapacitated for too long without having to be replaced by a competent person who can take his position while he's facing any challenges, either sickness or arrest or any kind of situation that may not warrant him not to be available at any given time. So what is all this? You are in you are we have to hire this person, we have to hire this person, instead of coming together and fighting for what we believe in. Yeah. So what is the essence? Why do we divide our funds? Why do we allow the devil to come into us? Because of hatred, because of envy, and because of jealousy. Why? And there is one thing that the spirit of Biafra will always do. If you are about to sabotage, if you are not doing the right thing, Biafrans will always know through your actions, through your words, through your speech. Biafrans will know whether you are doing the right thing or you are doing the wrong thing. Take, for instance, Ima Madabu, Chiome Koma, Tony Bryston, and all the rest of them, Ekoma. What they are doing at this time, they are sabotaging the Biafran government in exile. That is actually what they are doing. Because I don't see any reason why they will go and hire somebody, why they know that we have our lobbyist, we have our attorney. Now, this person that they hired, they hyped his position. They say, oh, because Biafran government in exile, the original Briggy was not actually, they think that Briggy was not actually looking into the cases of our prime minister, first prime minister Simon Ekpanjoko. For crying out loud, Simon Ekpanjoko is a Finnish citizen. He was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment according to Finnish laws. Our prime minister Simon Ekpanjoko hired an attorney for that. You can't know better than him in Finland. And there is no way an international lawyer that is not a Finnish citizen, that is not practicing in Finnish, can now go to Finland and start practicing law on behalf of Simon Ekpa. It does not happen. But what did they do? They now tell you, Choma and the Emma, now planned their whatever they planned and now came and tried to deceive Biafrans that they are hiring international lawyer that will go to Finland and scatter table. You go to Finland and scatter table. You go to UN and scatter table. You go to EU and scatter table. You go to Nigeria and scatter table. So therefore, Biafran should come and contribute and give them money to hire this man. This was how they started deceiving Biafrans. That this man have this in his portfolio. He had this as a position, so he can go to America. He can go anywhere and turn the files upside down. And Simon Ekpa will just walk out free. And a lot of Biafrans were deceived into believing on this. Whereas we have a lobbyist, Mazi Elias. Mazi Elias, when our Prime Minister Simon then unveiled the moral strategies and global, he unveiled them online and told them before he unveiled them, he has already discussed with them, engaged their services, know how their capabilities and know their capacity before he can now come and present it to the Biafran people. And what did they do? Their presentation was top notch, because from their words you will understand that these people know their onions. You will understand that these people know their capability because they have connections in Washington, D.C. Jim Mora is a former congressman. Elias is his partner. Okay? They know about the politics that happened in Washington, D.C. That is why Simon Ekpa hired them. And they proved to Biafran people that yes, they know what they are doing. They know what they have to do in Washington, D.C. for Biafran Restoration Project. And they are doing it with the best of their capacity and ability. We have seen results. So why we now Chioma Ekoma and the Tony Braston and Imam Madabu now all of a sudden start deceiving Biafran that, oh, Elias and Amanda Biri are not doing actually anything. Castigating Elias, castigating Amanda Biri, and now employing somebody who doesn't even know what to do. He has even confessed to that the only thing he can know how to do is to ask you to go and pray. To tell you to go and pray for your freedom. Is that not really laughable? Because when you listen to Elias and listen to Mr. Joseph Edward, the difference between these two people is like when you are in America and you are using your leg from America to go back to Nigeria. That is the difference between Elias and Mazi and the man they called Honorable Joseph. Yes, there is no way you can compare the two in terms of connection, in terms of their companies, in terms of their knowledge of what freedom fighting is all about. So it really beats my imagination. It's really able. So and it's really pathetic that these things are happening in this Biafra movement, that our leader Mazin Nnamdi Kanu have suffered much. What we should be focusing now is to make sure that we support the Biafran government in exile. We put more force, more contribution, more effort to fund our liberation under Biafran government in exile, so that Elias and Amanda Bere and our Prime Minister will continue to push for total exit of Biafra out of Nigeria. All these sabotages, backstabbing here and there is not helping our cause. It's not helping the Biafran cause. all these sabotages is not helping the Biafran cause. And I want us to understand that. It's not helping our cause. And this is what happened that made our eternal leader, Biafra, was not achieved between 1976, 1967 to 70 because of the likes of Obabiasika and Ifajuna sabotage. It is not auguring well for our freedom. This man have told you people before he was even unveiled, like I said earlier, his position was hyped that he was going to checkmate the activities of the Finnish lawyer. He's going to make sure that they do the right thing. He's going to go to European Union and checkmate the activities of France and make sure that they do the right thing. He's also going to hold Nigeria and British in their blockers and make sure that they do the right thing. This is how they hyped this man, Mr. Joseph Edwards. But as God could have it, Mr. Joseph had disappointed them because the people who contracted them never told Biafrans the truth. What is the antecedent of this Mr. Joseph? What has he done? What has been his achievement before now? Which country has he represented? Which country has he been the envoy? Including even a man who say he has all this portfolio, he doesn't know what an envoy means. Because the people who presented him to the Biafran people, they thought that everybody is foolish. They thought that we are not going to talk about that man. Now, it is very much glaring for people to understand that this man doesn't even know what they contracted him to do. Because they are the one who contracted the man. They call Abateke. Abateke. That is what they are doing. Abata Eke here. IPOB contracted a law firm, a lobbyist, and the lobbyist, they were paying lobbyists over 100 and something $1,000 every month. But the actual money that they give to the lobbyists is not up to the $50,000. But they wrote in that their contract that is he receiving 100 and something $1,000. What happens when the man received the payment? They give him the 50 million and share the rest within themselves. So they continue to milk Biafrans. Where Biafrans will donate money for their freedom, they will continue to milk Biafrans through the money of the legal and the lobbying firms. It's the same thing that they are happening now. They tell Biafrans, oh, this man is this, is that, he's working with Trump, he's going to help he's going to hold Finland on the neck, he's going to hold the European Union on their brocos, he's going to hold Nigeria on their ear, and Nigeria will not escape this one. This is what they told you in one of their spaces, I think on the 4th of February. Go and check the spaces that was hosted either by Ife or who were Ife, something like that. In that space, they told you that, oh, they have hired an Iroko that is going to move mountains. Under 1 week, Simon will come out. This Iroko will hold everybody accountable. The same Iroko today is telling you that he doesn't know what he's going to do. It's going to depend on the activities, on the outcome of the lawyers that are working for Simon in Finland. That is what this man is telling you. So, who is now deceiving who? You allow yourself to be deceived. You go and pay money, and after, on a monthly basis, if it is $10,000 or $5,000, they agree with the man to come on the social media and be deceiving you. They pay him the $5,000. The remnant of the money, they will now share it within Emma, I don't know who, Dr. Bryston, Chome Koma, Obi, and all the rest of them. They share the money. Why you may go there with your genuine heart. Yes. One thing you should know, we don't fight freedom with sentiment. We love our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Yes, we understand that. In fact, we would have preferred that he was never kidnapped, he was never arrested. But in a scenario where you find him in this situation, are you going to say, oh, because you love Simon Ekpa, so therefore, if they ask you to put your hand in the fire for Simon Ekpa, you go and put it for fire? Even when you know that the government that he set up is fighting for his release through diplomatic means in Washington, D.C., then people will come and deceive you to go and put your hand in fire because it is Simon that is involved. You go and put your hand in fire. People will not tell you that, oh, they want to donate money so that Simon will come out. You go and donate. You did not follow the due process. You actually know that we have a government. You actually know that there is a template for Biafra. But somebody will come out from the left and tell you want to donate money, you go and donate. Somebody will come out from the right and tell you want to donate money, you go and donate. At the end, when you donate all this money, there is nothing to show for it. Since Ngozi, at least you take cognizance, you take an example. In 2024, when Ngozi separated from Briggy, tell me one thing that Ngozi Orabueze have achieved. What is the one thing? You that is following Emma and Ekoma, Bryce, tell me one thing, one particular thing that you will say. Sorry. Tell me one thing that you say that since Ngozi left BRGIE, that this is what Ngozi have done that BRGIE could not do. The only thing that Ngozi have succeeded in doing is memo, 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 memo. Every day she is writing memo. If you don't write about Nigeria, you write about Donald Trump, you write about Finland, you write about Netherlands, you write about everything. Oh, I was invited for Trump inauguration. He put memo. Is that how to fight for freedom? Ngozi even told them that, oh, last year they are going to have a company that have been contracted, an aviation company, to come and take Biafran's homeland. Where is Eju? Eju Elennegi, Bokororum. Nothing happened. Huh? And our people are still following. I don't understand. People in the homeland that Ngozi have been deceived, have come out now to tell you, say, Ngozi, since you say we are a free nation, we are Biafra, we don't need to fear Nigeria. I beg, come back home and lead us. They gave her 6 months to come down home and lead them and build those infrastructure that she said, oh, we don't need to recognition. We are already a free nation. Come back home and be the prime minister of Biafra. She refused to come back home. So what can you say that Ngozi have achieved that will make you now follow Emma to say that, oh, because Ngozi have achieved this for Biafra, Emma will achieve this one? Absolutely nothing. Since Emma have also separated from Brigade, what have they achieved? Tell us one thing, one singular thing. I'm not saying two. I'm not asking you for three. I say one. In fact, half. Tell us half of what Ngozi have done or Emma have done since they left Brigade. One half, not even one. No. Half of what Emma have done. Eh? Tell us one thing that Ngozi have done or he might have done since they left Britain. Absolutely nothing. They have done absolutely nothing. So why will you now continue to follow people who are trying to destroy what we are doing? Why? While our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa was here, you saw how Elias spoke to Biafrans.
And countries and causes that I believe in. And I trust that you have a bright future ahead. We will try to secure your independence. We can't promise because the politics is not a particularly predictable situation in the United States today, and justice is not always served, but we will work towards that objective. I appreciate the opportunity to work on behalf of the Biafran people. And at this point, let me turn it over to Elias. Elias?
Oh, thank you, Jim. And it's an honor to be working with you on this. And we appreciate your lending your support, someone of your perspective.
I'm having issue with this video. Each time I try to play this video, I am stuck. Each time I try to play this video today, I am stuck. And I don't know the reason why it's happening like that. I don't know the reason why each time I try to play this video, I am stuck. Each time I try to play this video, I am stuck. I don't know the reason why. Each time I try this video, I am stuck. Because it's very, very important. It's very, very important we understand very, very important we understand that we have a task ahead of us. We should understand what we are meant to do. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, made us to understand it is the hardcore. Who are the hardcore? You and I. It is the hardcore that will restore Biafra. It is the hardcore that will restore Biafra. You and I. It is our responsibility to restore Biafra. So if those that should restore Biafra are now splitting the activities of Biafra, how is it going to be? How are we going to make that Biafra visible? So those of you that are following Emma In this sabotage, you have to retrace your steps. We know that everybody is entitled, your freedom of fellowship or freedom as association is allowed. But in this freedom, in this Biafran Restoration Project, you have to follow the group that is doing the right thing. Right from day one, Biafran government has been consistent. We have not wavered. We have not shaken. We have always remained focused on Biafran restoration. Emma is wavering, Ngozi is wavering. So why are you supporting those? Why are you supporting those who are not actually doing anything for Biafra? Why? Why are you supporting those who are actually not doing enough for Biafran restoration? So since this is not allowing me to play, let me check if it will allow me to play the video of this Joseph Edwards, because that's the reason why I'm here. We don't hate the man. As a matter of fact, Mazin Nandekano said, if you know what to do for Biafra to come, do it. Okay? So, but once you are now acting against the coming of Biafra, with the Biafran people, we are going to come for you. We are going to come against you. Very, very important, because it is our freedom that is involved here. It is our freedom that is involved here. So we are not going to play with anything that have to do with our freedom. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you stand on the way of our freedom, we are going to fight against you. As long as you stand on our way of freedom, we are going to come against you. So every person that has tried to destroy our freedom, or you are supporting those who try to destroy our freedom, you have to have us to contend with. You have us to contend with.
I would want to know, what are the legal prospects?
So this man that you see here,
Of Biafra through the Biafra government in exile governing council. Succeeding against the Nigerian state in relation to the
Okay, let me see if I can play it from here.
The allegations brought against our Prime Minister.
Because the network is not actually giving me.
Mazi Simon Ekpa. And what is likely under applicable domestic and international legal framework of his release within the shortest time possible. Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Jim Moran.
The network is not actually.
That's a difficult question.
Not
so
giving
thank you very
me
much.
what I needed. So I'll first of all let me first of all play to Biafrans. So I'm going to play it from here so that we are going to hear what our first Prime Minister, he unveiled.
Well, thank you, Your Excellency.
When he unveiled the Biafra attorney and lobbyist, our lobbyist in Washington, D.C. So I want you to listen.
Served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. Well, thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I began to represent some corporations and countries and causes that I believe in. It has been an honor to work with you, Your Excellency. Elias Garcia is my partner. Elias's account, but I'm going to be working with him. While I was in the Congress, I was on a committee that funds defense and State Department foreign operations, as well as the Foreign Relations Committee. I have an interest in Africa. I was a principal co-sponsor of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. But most importantly, I do believe that Biafran independence is a just and noble cause. And I trust that you have a bright future ahead. We will try to secure your independence. We can't promise because the politics is not a particularly predictable situation in the United States today, and justice is not always served, but we will work towards that objective. I appreciate the opportunity to work on behalf of the Biafra people. And at this point, let me turn it over to Elias. Elias?
Oh, thank you, Jim. And it's an honor to be working with you on this. And we appreciate your lending your support to someone of your prestige and stature. That association would be so critical. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, and dear Biafrans in the United States and around the world. My name is Elias Garcia, and I am a good friend and colleague of Congressman Moran, and we are your new lobbyists here in Washington, D.C. However, you should know that we are more than just your lobbyists. We are fellow freedom fighters in the struggle for the liberation by Biafra. And similar to how your compatriots in the Biafran Defense Forces are securing your freedom on the homeland, We will be fighting for your freedom in the political and diplomatic battlefield here in Washington, D.C. And we will make sure that all these U.S. officials, all these congressmen and senators understand that the Biafran independence movement is a democratic civilian uprising against injustice, the very same one that we had in the United States when we declared our independence from the British 200 years ago. On a personal level, I knew I had to get involved in this struggle, not only because of my belief in the Biafran cause, but my belief in His Excellency, the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. As I got to know the Prime Minister, I could see that he has remarkable leadership qualities and vision. And I knew that instinctively that he was a man of destiny and that he will have a very important impact in Africa in the years to come. And I thought it was a personal duty to assist him. Already, the Prime Minister has made remarkable progress and has outsmarted the Nigerian system in many ways. The Prime Minister has done this with the self-referendum. He has done this with opening diplomatic liaison offices around the world. And I think by establishing a proper Biafran lobby in Washington, D.C., the Prime Minister has delivered his master stroke. And if you can look at the Nigerian media and the social media, you will see that this is something that's been highly publicized. And I think this is because they understand the moment that the United States starts to gain more support for the Biafran cause, it will be a game changer. Because when the United States leads, other countries follow. Congressman Moran and myself are your voice to the U.S. Congress, your voice to the White House, your voice to the State Department, your voice to the highest offices in this great land. And we will not stop until victory is achieved. Long live a free, independent, and sovereign Biafra. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that brilliant speech there. Elias, we are happy to have you on board, and we have a lot of things to do together. Thank you. This particular appearance today is just to present you to the Biafrans in the United States. As I made my promise, I have fulfilled it. It is now that we go out there and do what we know how to do best for the interest of people.
Mr. Prime Minister, it's our honor, and we look forward to serving you in the cause. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It was a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Now you have listened to this was the introduction of the Biafran lobbies to the Biafran people way back in 2024. You listen to how Elias and Jim Morale, they were our lobbyists then. Listen to how their presentation went. They spoke like people who knows what their work is. Who knows what their work is as a Biafran lobbyist. They spoke with the knowledge of their field. They spoke with charisma. They spoke with all amount of sincerity and commitment to the contract for which they signed to protect and to work for the Biafran people. You are in no doubt, you are in any way going to doubt their sincerity and commitment towards this cause. You see how they responded to the introduction. You see how they told Biafran people what their work entails going forward, to represent us in Washington, D.C., to speak for us, to stand for us, to make sure that the issues of Biafra reverberates in Washington, D.C. Will you tell me that Elias have not lived up to that expectation? So, if Elias have not lived up to that expectation, please, can somebody tell me on the comment section? If Elias have not lived up to that expectation, Please, somebody should tell me on the comment section. Otherwise, what is the essence of this sabotage? What is the reason? What is the reason why EMA are now coming to tell you that, oh, they're hiring an attorney for Prime Minister Simon Ekpa? We understand that attorney is different from lobbyist, right? But the reason why we are comparing it together, because in the letter or in the memo that they wrote, they ascribed the work of the attorney, the work of the lobbyist, to that of their attorney, because Elias is representing us in Washington D.C. So they told you that this Mr. Joseph Schools, or whatever his name is going to represent Biafrans in the negotiation in Washington D.C. So that is why I'm asking you, what is the reason why Elias have to now play the second fiddle? Why this man who doesn't know his onions is now the man they say is going to do wonders in Biafran restoration project? And beside that, Simon Ekpa, who he has not met to, have given him to be the envoy to Biafra issue. Does it make sense? To me, it doesn't. It does not make any sense to me at all. So I want to play you the man's own voice so that you can listen as well. Because the reason why we are doing all these things is to let our brothers understand that you cannot be deceived unless you are the one who deceived yourself. Don't allow yourself to be deceived. Don't deceive yourself. Don't allow yourself to be deceived, and also don't deceive yourself. Don't deceive yourself. Don't allow yourself to be deceived.
My name is Jim.
Now, I want you to listen. I don't know whether it will be so audible.
Sir, we do respect.
Okay, the voice is not coming out as I want. So let me search for another one so that I will see. Please, you have to glue your ear. You have to glue your ear here so that you can hear what he's saying. Because from where I got it, let me see if I can get another one. The voice is not all that audible. It's not all that audible. But I want you to listen. You have played it in your, you have played it on your device. But I want you to listen to it here. Because it's really not good at all. It's really not good that this thing is happening at a time that we should have supported our government in exile. It's very, very unfortunate. It's happening at this time that we would have focused Please bear with me. The network has hanged my studio. Please bear with me. The network has hanged my studio is on the hanging, and we have to, give it a time before we can come back again. It's really pissing me off. Nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. I need to change this gadget, but I need to change it. I need to change it, man. It's really disturbing my broadcast. I understand that. I'm not even happy about that myself, but it is what it is. I don't have the capacity to change it now. That's why I'm still managing it, okay? So please bear with me, Biafrans. Oh my God. Rain is falling here. Maybe it's as a result of the rain. The network is not friendly at all. The network is not friendly. So please bear with me. Please bear with me, Biafrans. And let me check whether it's still on. Let me use the phone to check whether it's still showing, because I can't even open my studio anymore. I can't open it anymore. Let me check whether. Okay. Let me use the phone to check whether it's still showing, because I can't even open my studio anymore. Okay, yes. I can hear you guys. I can hear myself. I can hear myself, which means the studio is still very much on. But the problem is that I can't access it. I can't access it right now. Okay, yes. I can hear you guys. I can hear myself. I can hear myself, which means the studio is still very much on. But the problem is that I can't access it. I can't access it right now. Okay, maybe if anybody.
Sir, with due respect, I would want to know what are the legal prospects of Biafra through the Biafra government in exile governing council succeeding against the Nigerian state in relation to the allegations brought against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and what is the likelihood under applicable domestic and international legal framework of his release within the shortest time possible.
So that's a difficult question. So thank you very much. I spoke directly with the Prime Minister about the legal process, and from the Prime Minister's perspective, he didn't have a direct answer, but he suggested that my first effort on his behalf should not be within the judicial system in Finland. He suggested that the first effort should be perhaps a letter from me to the foreign minister of Finland to raise at that level sensitivity about some of the fundamental legal questions involved in my involvement. So I'm not a Finnish lawyer. I've I've studied European law, and I'm so knowledgeable, but I know enough to know that I can't pretend to be a Finnish lawyer. So I have to rely on the expertise of the Prime Minister's Finnish lawyers to grasp for myself an understanding of the legal process. And what I can about in light of the Prime Minister's release, I just go back to what I mentioned earlier. I will do everything in my human ability to obtain the Prime Minister's release. And at the same time, I will pray to God that we obtain that result. And I ask all of you that are listening to continue praying for that result. And my commitment is, to the full extent of my human abilities, I will put my zealous advocate hat on and do what I can to help achieve that result. But it's not going to be done by me personally. It's going to be a group effort, and it will rely on the grace of God.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Did you hear what he said? First of all, this man, Emma and his group told you that this man is coming to be the Iroko in the issue of Simon Ekpa's case. Not only did he come to fight for Simon Ekpa's case, he also come as an envoy to represent Biafra in Washington, D.C. as well. Oh. And he's going to fight Finland. He's going to fight Nigeria. And besides, he was going to checkmate the activities of the Finnish. But in this scenario, in this case, I will play it again so that now we are going to take it bit by bit.
Sir, with due respect, I would want to know what are the legal prospects of Biafra through the Biafra government in exile.
What are the legal prospects through the Biafra Republic government in exile legal case?
Governing council. Succeeding against the Nigerian state in relation to the allegations brought against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And what?
In other words, he is trying to ask him, how is the Biafran government in exile going to navigate in relation to the case of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoko that was brought to him by the Nigerian government in the Finnish court? What is the possibility that Simon Ekpa is going to come out? And how soon is that going to happen? That is the case. That is the question that was asked. That is the question that is expected to be answered by this man, Joseph Edwards, that was hired by Emma Madabo and Joy Irobi, Bryson Ekoma, Chioma Ekoma, Rafa Jaire, Adonowu. They hired this man because they believe that the Finnish lawyers are not doing enough, that the Finnish lawyers are not doing the needful, that the Finnish lawyers are not doing necessary for the release of Simon Ekpa Njoko. And they also believed that the government in exile, which our Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere is heading, is not actually doing anything for release of Prime Minister and the restoration of Biafra. That was the reason why they said that they have searched all over America, and this man has all that it takes to come and break the yoke, to come and break the camel's back in in Finland, and because of that, they are going to send him to Finland, so that he's going to Finland to go and meet the lawyers and see the case file of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoko, and possibly discuss with Simon Ekpa and know the way forward. He is the one who is going to know the way forward. So after hyping this man, the man now come. I want to ask you listen to the question again. He listen to the question again. What is the possibility that the case that is brought about against Simon Ekpa Njoko, that Brigi is going to navigate it, they are going to be able to take on Nigerian government, and what is the possibility that Simon Ekpa is going to come out, and what is he going to do to make sure that Simon Ekpa comes out in relation to this case that is being handled by Finland? And listen to what the man was saying.
And what, sir, with due respect, I would want to know what are the legal prospects of Biafra through the Biafra government in exile, governing council, succeeding against the Nigerian state in relation to the allegations brought against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and what is the likelihood under applicable domestic and international legal framework of his release time possible? Thank you.
So that's a difficult question. So
This man, who is honorable attorney, who is a land, an international Iroko. This man who knows it in Washington, D.C., who can enter any office, even finish government houses, enter it and break the yoke against Simon Ekpa, said, yes, this is a difficult question for me to answer, but I am going to, try my best to respond to that. So he said it's a very difficult answer.
I spoke directly with the Prime Minister about the legal process.
Now, he did not say that he saw, he said he spoke with Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, about the legal prospects, about the legal process of his case.
And from the Prime Minister's perspective, he didn't have a direct answer, but he suggested
He is expecting the Prime Minister, who is incarcerated, to have an answer to the legal prospect about his own case. Whereas he is the one who was contracted to now advise on the legal prospect about Simon's case. He is now asking Simon Ekpa what is the legal prospect, because Simon Ekpa is a lawyer. He was contracted to come and redeem or rescue Simon Ekpa. He is not bringing his own legal perspective into the case. Rather, he is asking the person who is in detention his own legal prospect or perspective, how he himself, the Joseph that was contracted, is going to handle his own his case. Listen,
that my first effort on his behalf should not be within the judicial system in Finland. He suggested that the first effort should be perhaps a letter from me to the foreign minister of Finland.
Now, this man was contracted to come and see how he can free Simon Ekpa Njoku. If he actually have the knowledge of Simon Ekpa's case, he should be the one who will bring the legal prospect, because lawyers in Finland have been treating this case. So their prospect or their process is not working. This Joseph, according to how they hyped him, is expected to bring his own legal prospect or process to release Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. He doesn't have any. What he did was to go to Simon Ekpa Njoku and was asking Simon, he will call Simon on phone and was asking him the legal process. And now Simon is telling him that he, Joseph, his prospect should not be, or process should not be to go to the judiciary. Rather, he will give him a letter to go to the foreign foreign ministry, to go and see the foreign minister. This is a man who is supposed to bring his own legal advice or legal, how do I say it, legal tactics into bear in how he's going to release Simon Ekpa. Instead of him to do that, now he's taking a cue from Simon, who is in detention, to advise him on what to do. Listen.
To raise at that level sensitivity about some of the fundamental legal questions involved in my involvement.
Okay? He's going to go to Foreign Affairs to raise this issue of his involvement into Simon's case. That is what Simon advised him to do.
So I'm not a Finnish lawyer. I've studied European law, and I'm knowledgeable, but I know enough to know that I can't pretend to be a Finnish lawyer. So I have to rely on the expertise of the Prime Minister's Finnish lawyers to grasp for myself an understanding of the legal process. And what I can say about the likelihood of the Prime Minister's release, I just go back to what I mentioned earlier. I will do everything in my human ability to obtain his release, and at the same time, I will pray to God that we obtain that result. And I ask all of you that are listening to continue praying for that result. And my commitment is, to the full extent of my human abilities, I will put my zealous advocate hat on and do what I can to help achieve that result. But it's not going to be done by me personally. It's going to be a group effort, and it will rely on the grace of God.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Sir, with due respect, I would want to know what are the legal prospects of Biafra through the Biafra government in exile, governing council, succeeding against the Nigerian state in relation to the allegations brought against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and what is the likelihood under applicable domestic and international legal framework of his release within the shortest time possible? Thank you.
So that's a difficult question. So thank you very much. I spoke directly with the Prime Minister about the legal process, and from the Prime Minister's perspective, he didn't have a direct answer, but he suggested that my first effort on his behalf should not be within the judicial system in Finland. He suggested that the first effort should be perhaps a letter from me to the foreign minister of Finland to raise at that level sensitivity about some of the fundamental legal questions involved in my involvement. So I'm not a Finnish lawyer. I've studied European law, and I'm knowledgeable, but I know enough to know that I can't pretend to be a Finnish lawyer. So I have to rely on the expertise of ministers, Finnish lawyers, to grasp for myself an understanding of the legal process. And what I can say about the likelihood of the Prime Minister's release, I just go back to what I mentioned earlier. I will do everything in my human ability to obtain the Prime Minister's release, and at the same time I will pray to God that we obtain that result. And I ask all of you that are listening to continue to pray for that result. And my commitment is, to the full extent of my human abilities, I will put my zealous advocate hat on and do what I can to help achieve that result. But it's not going to be done by me personally. It's going to be a group effort, and it will rely on the grace of God.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Eu sou do Pequeno de Bordo. Esqueci o telefone em casa. Não posso mandar ele embora. Não, esqueci o telefone em casa. Você conhece as coisas que chamam de micro? Tem os clientes, né? Tem os clientes, me dá. Há uma chave. Mano, dá lá essas chaves para ver se. Essa vai tua machinha, pronto. Vou te explicar a chave do plano. Tá? Amanhã é raro apanhar essas chaves. Uma chave que. Tá vendo? Uma chave pequena, estriada, igual a esse. Pequenina, estriada, mas gente. Não é aquela tipo hexágono assim. Não é. Não, esse acho que ficou aqui com chave. Vai lá. Esse.
Hey, yes. sorry, Biafrans. I was multitasking, and please, if you want to make your contribution, our MID, I was not close, so to make your contribution, you can make your contribution now. So we have all listened to this Mr. Joseph. Mr. Joseph is telling you that he does not have capacity.
With due respect, I would want to know what are the legal prospects of Biafra through the Biafra government in exile, governing council, succeeding against the nature.
Mr. Joseph do not have the capacity or the capability for the work which they assigned for him to do for them. And like I said before, this man is actually a front. He was fronted for these people that are involved. These betrayers fronted him in order to extort money from Biafrans. Because actually from the way he is speaking, he has told you that he cannot do any magic. And he's going to rely on the Finnish lawyers for any action he's going to take, early legal process is going to take, is going to rely on the outcome or on the itinerary or on the work that the lawyers in Finland, what they have done will be the basis of whatever he's going to do. So he's not coming to do anything differently. That is why he's telling you that you have to pray. You'll be praying for him, and he encouraged you to pray so that whatever he's going to do, prayer is going to solve the problem. Prayer will be the antidote for the release of Prime Minister Simon Ekpanjoko, and not what the legal professionals will do for him to be free. That is what most of you who are ignorantly following Emma Madabo should know, that this Mr. Joseph doesn't have much to do. Mr. Joseph doesn't have much to do. So he advised you, in Nigeria, they have always used religion to deceive our people. That is why he's now coming to tell you that whatever he's going to do, you should pray for it. You should not fight for your freedom. You should not now donate for the Biafran government in exile. He's telling you that he has nothing to do at all. He has nothing to offer. That is the bottom. That every action he's going to take will be based on what he gets from the Finnish lawyers that are representing Mazi Simon Ekpanjoko. So for most of you that are thinking that, that Mr. Joseph got about to Enigwe, you have been disappointed. It's a very big disappointment for all of you. Very unfortunate that some of you have been deceived and you are still listening to Imam Madabo, Joy Irobi, Bryce Tinekoma, I don't know, Rafa Ajarere, and all of them who have formed the basis of the sabotage for the Biafran government in exile. It is quite unfortunate and it's not going to end well. Yeah, Biafrans, MID Briggs is calling. Good afternoon from here, our Minister of Military Language and Linguistics, MID Briggs. You're on the line and Biafrans are listening. Welcome, sir, to the questionnaire. There was, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just asking a question concerning what these people bore in mind while going to contract someone that is similar like a lobbyist. That was the question.
Yes.
Then you said that yes, you said that you believe. Maybe they thought that the DRGIE, original DRGIE level is not doing enough for the release of Mazi, and they also for the diplomatics, you know. But yes, you are right. But let me tell you the main thing. You know, I'm one of the oldest cabinet members, and I have studied this paper starting from the time Madam Dekan was still active, was still a full man. Then to the time of Lady Uwem, the time of Madam Azuka, although this is the time of Madam Azuka, try to understand me, I speak politically.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, then the time of down to the time of I've been very close with the Commissioner of the UHA. What happened is this, you know, I want to give this example very simple. It is not all that you say. Just add this one to it. These people purposely wanted to, if I make the use of the word hijack, understand it in its sense, to hijack that particular structure. You know, it is not all that you say. There is something you call escamotage. Escamotage has to do with somebody looking to act, you know, to do some eruption. So them telling you that they wanted to hire a lawyer that will defend Mazi in Finland was an escamotage, just for them to hijack. The first escamotage started from when this particular people, although today might be the last time of talking about this, because there are other better things for us to discuss.
Okay.
So it's good that our people do listen to the genesis of things. They do listen to things the way it unfolds, so that they will not, you know, follow the disgruntled elements and continue making mistakes. Okay? These people wanted to hijack that structure. And I don't want to call it structure. That governing structure that is being headed by the children. Then they look for a means to do that. Then they say, one Dr. You know, one thing with our people is this. Very few women knows how to manage power. This is what they're looking at. Very, very few women, when you give them power, they knows how to manage it very well. And the majority, I'm not trying to talk about it, but people should understand what I'm saying in this sense. It is very, very few that understand when the power comes to them, for them to manage and balance. One of the best I have ever seen is the Italian Prime Minister. She understands how to manage power, to look at the heart of the people, to look at the law first of all, to look at the structure before you erupt. If you look at the was here, look at the way she was scattering everywhere till she fell off from the path, saying that there is nothing like the other, that it is
Edu, yes.
She made that, yes, she made that particular comment. But when she was coming, nobody understood where she was trying to arrive. Because if assuming that she didn't say that, she wouldn't have been wrong in any sense. Because, however, Edu as a people, as a kingdom existed, just like every kingdom existed. But the very moment she thought that she has arrived, because when somebody is contracted to do things, the person first of all starts by making use of the escamotage of the opportunity that is there about to land. Now, when she believed that she had got enough stance and followership, then she erupted, thereby telling you that it is no longer Biafra. That it is Edu. Then I said legally, somebody like me said, what is the base and legal base of Edu? The legal terms of in comparison with Biafra, keep Edo one side, then take Biafra and keep the other end. Both of them supposed to have legal base. If you are talking about nation building, any system you are using that has no legal base, there is no need of continuing. Now the legal base of it in terms of nation building is zero. But the legal base of Biafra in terms of nation building is the Ahira Declaration. The Ahira Declaration. I mean, from 1967 to 1970, that is the legal base of Biafra.
Biafra.
Because yes, based on that war was declared, and the people became a sovereign state. That is, Biafra became a sovereign state that lasted for 3 good years. But on the other hand, Edo has never had anything like declaration. There's no legal base. I don't know whether I'm getting the point we are trying to.
Yes.
It will remain only in its old, it was never a country, it was never a sovereign state. It has never. How things function. They should go and, hence we're talking about nation building country. First of all is marrying the law, marrying the national law, international law, knowing national law and international law. Because those who are yet to understand this always make mistake by thinking or making in pari passu the condition you use in the running of a meeting or an organization with that of a government in exile. In case of government in exile, you only have to maintain a government, the first one that has been registered, to do everything within that government that has been registered. You don't have to any atom of intention of duplicating the government. You look at the law, always the law should be number one. And in our own case, our charter also raised. You make use of the international law, should know the limit of what they are going to do. And you should know what, if you do it, if you apply it, will cause a kind of jeopardy. Okay, that has been clear. Now, I said that they purposely wanted to hijack that.
Yes.
Because possibly, they might have thought that they know it better in terms of level of, fluency, or fluency in terms of paper, or fluency in terms of linguistics. And in terms of legal base, they lack too much. Now, they sent their this problem started from that particular want of truth, that want of the ruby. Well, saw herself, she secretly went to the registry office, trying to hijack that, and she met a big wall. The next thing was that she came out and published something on her handle, and started saying, lamenting that she was declared secretary, that this prime minister declared her, use her name as a secretary without informing her. And that is another ignorant protest. You know why I said it is ignorant protest?
No.
The reason and why I say that is ignorant protest and null and void is because since around the month of April 2023, that British cabinet was formed, the British government cabinet was formed, as long as you have accepted the position under PRAY as a minister, which is the resident president, because this is a government in exile, has the right to insert any of us or any person, wherever he likes. Once you have accepted from the beginning, But by the moment you lament that you are no longer in because that protest means she was no longer in because they have already started planning to hijack. Now, from that moment, if the Prime Minister knows it, he has to go and remove all the names because they said they no longer
Yes.
belong. So that is it practically. Now, that was the statement. The next thing is that they went and duplicated PRAYJE. By the month of August, you know, that move happened 25 June. That's the first move for them to do was to hijack. Then it didn't work. Okay, Chukwu has already went and blocked the freeway because he has the constitutional right to do and undo. Thank you, because this is a government in exile. It's not yet a sovereign state. People should go and learn how to run, how the government in exile is being run. It's different from the way the normal government is being run. It's run like Pasai company. I'm just saying this for people to understand, especially those who went to school to understand. Now, let's go ahead. Fast forward. In August 2020, they went and duplicated the government in a place known as Ohio. That one is another, because a government in exile should be one, not two. I compared it to what Governor did. It's exactly what she did, which is another violation. That then we create difference in your freedom. Because all these things we went and created, all next, no, it's not that. What are you doing here? Be in charge. At least let them learn more. That's why I always prefer the like of Madam Zucker. Because in all these shenanigans, I've never seen her buying that kind of thing that they've tried. What I mean is, the one that says she's combined the use of PRAYJE, USB, and de facto. That is so violent. You can do that over there. So now, that is apart. That is bad. Now, coming straight directly to this idea of going to hire an Anthony. That is another lie. Another lie. Okay, if you are not going to bar in Finland as a Finnish lawyer, one day you cannot present Simon in the Finnish court. But remember that this people convinced most of us, those following them as Biafrans, that this man is almost to defend Simon better than the one that we had to read in Finland. But you know that if you are not going to buy in Nigeria, you cannot try that.
Exactly.
You cannot try that. Anyway, you cannot come to bar. Anybody that will have something should have been somebody from the Schengen zone. But still, the same thing is applicable here. Whatever the time, the lobbies. And you have had the lobbies already. And the lobbies is the one that made America to do all the things that it did against the federal government of Nigeria. Starting from the bringing back the CPC designation, down to the Christmas kids and the new kids, to the Boko Harams, and all other things. And the quest for the Christian genocide that is being talked around the world against the government of Nigeria. So what again? Why are they calling this? And even when they call the other lobbyists, when they the lobbyists that took it to retired, that Simon Ekpa, our first Prime Minister, launched, they gave us confidence. They told us even that they were fellow freedom fighters. They are not only lobbyists, but fellow freedom fighters. They will make sure that they secure they help us to secure our freedom. And the aftermath of, is it not the that administered these people got the independence of present. What is it called? Somaliland.
Somaliland.
Thank you very much. Are you saying it? That is the proof that these people just wanted to hijack. And you know in government you don't run it the way you want. Society, it's not about what woman can do, what man can do it, or what man can do, woman can do it. It is not that. Just follow the due process. Okay, so look at the whole thing now. Try to weigh their confidentiality. You see that many people know where to stand. It's asking somebody that is increasing the legal perspective. And therefore, is it someone that will be helping him to bring the legal, that is jurisprudence? Okay? Or is it him that's supposed to bring the legal jurisprudence that way? And again, whenever you see a lawyer saying, let us pray to God, that means good night. There is no talk there. There is no talk there. So, what is the essence of what this character? Because you damn look with somebody, but you don't know that that person that I'm looking follow the process. The question of me how to speak English. Even the president of Somaliland doesn't speak good English.
Exactly.
For example, I'm saying, for example, English is not the only language in this world. There are people that speak Arab. See, if they are, so this was a there is no need of making repetition of what we have done. Okay, that's the 10,000, but they say they will be paying. It's just like something you wasted. Okay, if from the same horse's mouth says that Simon was not straightforward, but he suggested we should add politically, meaning that we should contend the foreign affairs. That is the work of a lobbyist. And now, when did they prevented the main lobbyists that have done things that are resounding? Let me use my mind for now. They probably wanted to do that, but it is a big because they are myopic. If they were not selfish, there is no need of doing that kind of thing. We should have come inside the house and know how we resolve our things. We move. It's not a question of why is it that it is not Woloshon that the most influential professor in Nigeria, that is the answer number one. Why isn't he? They can speak English as if it's what's the wife, the name of the mother of what's the name of that mother?
Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth, yes. If we speak it, you think that it's been given birth by Queen Elizabeth the second? Yes. But politically, the first thing involved was a political organization. I don't want Igbo people's education, most of us, to end up like that of pollution. It is not because if people don't know that if they want data, even you support, yes, you know that people are correct. They are on the right track. Okay, you use them as academics. You support them, you push them. What we want is victory. Very simple. When we have a blessing, that is Oyibo. We will speak Oyibo way long past Exit Mountain Hogan, South Africa, before the river Mississippi. Thank you. I use my mic. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much, the academic highness. Thank you for being part of this program. Dear friends, you listen to one of the oldest members of Brigade, the Minister of the Kindness. He has taken us through his wealth of experience as the best, the most educated black man in the whole of Europe. And his lecture is well understandable. The bottom line is for you to understand that these people are hijackers. They wanted to hijack the government. They wanted to hijack our freedom. But they couldn't do that because we have our Prime Minister who is already vast and was able to block the loopholes. And now they are trying to extort Biafrans using Mr. Joseph Edwards to front him as somebody who have all the paraphernalia of degrees, so that when you hear degrees, oh, this is that, all your head will burst and you go and contribute money. Even when you don't have the money, you go and borrow to come and donate because you are hearing of some degrees are from America. So Biafrans, be aware that these people are not here for the freedom of our people. They are there to make money for themselves and deceive a lot of you. We have a government. That government is doing more than enough for our freedom. Ogechukwu Nkere, our lobbyists and our attorneys, they are in Washington, D.C. doing the needful. All they need is your support. That thing will fall into place. So I really appreciate every one of you. Continue to support our government. Continue to support our freedom. Don't deceive at all. You understand that those who to the end, those who persevere to bring this freedom. So if you are part of the hardcore, you don't need to be dancing marabenta. You don't need to be focused on our government. Start following the government. Start donating. Start what it's doing. Because the lobbyists that we know, Washington and Madison LLC, which is the founder is Elias Gerasoris, and he's doing wonderfully well in Washington, D.C. for Biafra. So that is the only lobbyist that we know. Any other person coming as an attorney, work of a lobbyist, to do the work of an envoy, it's a red flag, a very big red flag. Don't be deceived. Biafra must be restored no matter what anybody does. It doesn't matter how many of them come out to sabotage. We are consistent. We are focused for our freedom. And there is nothing anybody can do to stop the freedom of our people, as well as the freedom of our leaders. It is the actions and activities of Brigade that is going to liberate Biafra, that is going to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and as well press the Finnish government to release Mazi Simon Ekpa. So stop donating here and there. Focus on one lane. Focus on Brigade of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa that was unveiled 2023. That Brigade is still very strong. That Brigade is still the government that American government knows that is fighting for freedom of Biafra. No other one. So don't be deceived by people who say they think that we come here for English. We come to listen that they are for never. I speak English. We have not come for that. We came for freedom. We are fighting for freedom. And in freedom fighting, there is no criteria that you must know all the T's. You must dot all the T's and put all the full stop before freedom can be achieved. No. Our Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere is doing wonderfully well with his team and our lobbyists and attorney in Washington, D.C. So continue to support. Freedom will be surely achieved. So thank you so much. We appreciate every one of you. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And may you remain blessed. Omo Chineke, we move with speed. Nothing will stop the emergence of Biafra. Nothing will stop our freedom. Nothing will stop the freedom of our leader and that of our Prime Minister. It will only tarry, but it will surely come. Freedom, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made us to understand that freedom is very, very expensive. He knows what it entails to be free from Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu understand that. Mazi Simon Ekpa also understand that. So take your sentiment aside and focus on the fight that we are fighting together. we are going to liberate Biafra, and all of us will be free. I thank you so much, and join me next time. From me from here is good evening, and bye from here.